Hey everybody, this is Getty with Georgia Firing Line, and real quick, I just want to lay out for you some of the expectations and what to look forward to if you're interested in coming to one of the hike and shoots. Ever since Peter and Scott have introduced the hike and shoots at Rifle Ranch, we've seen a huge variety of shooters coming to participate. Now, when we speak of variety, we're not just talking about the diversity of individuals who come, we're also talking about their experience with firearms themselves. One of the most common questions we get is what prerequisite classes are required. The only thing that we ask is that you are safe with a firearm, you're able to take instruction well, and you have gear or equipment that's up to the task. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the ground and work our way up, and I'm just going to go through some of the things that you're going to need to have a great time at the hike and shoot. But before we get into that, let's talk about the concepts and where the hike and shoot really came from. We wanted to give people an outlet. We wanted folks to have an opportunity to go outside, have a great time with their equipment, and get to experience why we invest so much into these systems. Not just the gun, but also your equipment. And at the end of the day, we wanted these clients to have wonderful stories to go back and tell their friends or share on social media about some of the cool stuff they got to do during the weekend. Typically what happens is our cadre is going to set up several different stages and the hiking routes that we use to get there. Now at the end of the day, the actual hiking can total to anywhere between 4 and 8 miles. We've done both. And one of the interesting things about the hike and shoot system is you'll never shoot the same stage twice, and often you'll use a different path to get there each and every time. So with all that moving, all that walking, one thing you really want to bear in mind is your footwear. It's often a great idea to make sure that you have footwear that is appropriate to the task. We don't send people home for a whole lot of things, but if you show up in flip-flops, that might be one of them. Having footwear that's supportive and able to keep traction on loose dirt, gravel, mud, water, snow, etc. is a great idea and ultimately will aid to your comfort at the end of the day. Next up is going to be your clothing. Okay, we need to make sure that you're wearing clothing that you're okay with getting dirty, because we're going to get you dirty. It's kind of what we do. You're going to be shooting off of dirt berms, off of barricades. We're going to be moving through different types of vegetation, and like I said, sometimes water, creek beds, mud, etc. So if you have clothing that's ready for the outdoors and you don't mind getting it dirty, oftentimes that's a great choice. It bears mentioning we shoot rain, shine, sleet, snow, wind, anything. We are going to be shooting. So if you book a hike and shoot, make sure you keep an eye out on the weather. We do as well, and if there's anything large that happens or that is required, we'll make sure participants are aware ahead of time. Going up to the waistline, now we're talking about how you're going to transport your equipment, more importantly, carry your handgun along the trail for the hike and shoot. We have a lot of individuals who show up in their regular everyday clothing. You do not have to have gear to participate in the hike and shoot. If you want to show up in appropriate pants and shirt, you're good to go, because breaking news, your pants have built-in mag pouches. But if you wanted to use this opportunity to test or confirm a battle belt or a type of load-bearing belt, well, let me show you what I use. Now, we're not married to any particular brand or anything like that, but what I use is a Wilder Tactical Minimalist belt. Some of the things that I like about having a belt system is you have the ability of using a Safariland QLS offset system, which means I have the capability of swapping the whole holster out if I have another pistol that I wanted to bring instead. One of the things that I like about the Minimalist is that it does not require an inner belt, which makes it quieter and a little more comfortable for me when I'm moving through these woods during the hike and shoot. Velcro inner-outer belts tend to have kind of a signature sound as you're walking around, and when you have a neoprene inner liner, that doesn't happen. So as long as you have this cinched down properly, this is going to retain the weight and get it off of your bones to where it's a little more comfortable for the long haul. To this date, I've tracked about 22 miles hiking with gear in this belt, and this is just an example. You can check them out at wildertactical.com. We're not affiliated, we just like their product. So now let's talk about what you've likely been looking at for most of this video, and we're going to talk about a potential rifle build or just kind of a pattern setup that we like to see used at the hike and shoot. So first things first, we love suppressors. It makes the whole environment more comfortable for everybody involved, but they are by no means mandatory. You're welcome to shoot with or without your suppressor. We just find it cuts down on the percussion and the noise, which when you're shooting outside is pretty impressive. Next is going to be your overall barrel length, and this is really up to you. We've had participants shoot the hike and shoots with Mark 18s with 10-inch barrels, we've had 20-inch 308s. It's entirely up to you. Just really make sure that your barrel is free of obstructions and is ready to go before you come on property. You might notice that this guy's got a weapon light on it. We're planning something with that. Pay attention, coming soon. What's more important is going to be the ammunition, more specifically the quality of ammunition that you're shooting. With 5.56 223, if you're shooting just off the rack, 55 grain PMC 5.56, then that's going to be just fine out to a particular distance where things start to get a little more challenging. If you want to push performance out of your build, we recommend bringing at least 100 rounds of quality ammunition. It can be a little pricey, but your experience will be better because of it. We also very heavily do not recommend switching ammo types during the hike and shoot. This will throw your data off completely and you find yourself struggling at the longer targets. Next is going to be the optic setup and the mounts therein. So if you've watched any of the footage of previous hike and shoots, you've seen different types of optic setups. You've seen red dots with and without magnifiers. You see low power variable optics. And then there's of course high power optics for people who want to be more proficient at longer ranges. And really the answer is that you can do it with all of them. By and large, we recommend low power variable optics on most recce rifles or jack of all trades guns. We use them on just about everything. This one in particular is a Vortex Razor in 1-10. And this one is sitting in a Geisley Super Precision mount. Now naturally, if we're talking about putting a magnified optic on a AR-15 style rifle, you want to make sure you have an extended charging handle, at the very least on one side, so you don't punch yourself in the face accidentally from trying to run the charging handle quickly. Now stock, pistol grip choice, entirely up to you. This is where we see a lot of people really performing well with better triggers in their gun. Nothing wrong with a mil-spec GI trigger if you can shoot it, but having something like a Geisley 2-stage or a Hyperfire really goes a long way, and they shine dividends on the long range. And that basically wraps us up for our hike and shoot expectations. We want this program to be open up for everybody who's interested in doing it. So please, if you have any questions, please reach out to us on social media. We'll be happy to put whatever qualms you have to rest. It is a very comfortable environment, and while the hiking can be physically demanding for some, I promise you it's not that bad. So I hope this has kind of illustrated why the hike and shoot is so exciting for us and why we love it and cherish it so much. I really hope to see some of you guys out there signing up for it. Our next one's coming up on May 14th, and you can sign up for that available right now at gafiringline.com/events. And if you need or want to build up a platform so that you can participate or excel in the hike and shoot, make sure you come see us on Georgia Firing Lines. We have all the parts you need in stock, and we are ready and willing to help you. My name is Getty. Be safe.